बिल्लाहि मिनश्शैतानिर्रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम. Dear friends, welcome to Idea Foundation Forum. Today in lecture 287 we will discuss the Qur'an and mystery of pulsating stars, pulsating breathing stars as 32nd issue under the Qur'an and Modern Sciences. It pertains to astrophysics. Existence of pulsating. What is pulsating? Breathing stars is one of the great cosmic mysteries that has been revealed by the Qur'an in the 7th century. While science could confirm this Quranic revelation through some of its cosmic discoveries made just recently. We will look at the Quranic information first, and then we will go in some details on the cosmic discoveries made by science in this regard. So, dear friends, the Quran identifies the stars as celestial bodies. What is celestial bodies? Bodies which are in the space, not in the atmosphere. Celestial bodies, stars, suns, like things, which burn their fuel and radiate light to illuminate their surroundings and pass through various phases from their formation to extinction into white dwarf, as discussed in lectures 269 and 283. Anticipated life cycle of the sun or as representative of stars has been shown on the screen. Please have a look. In view of the Quran, everything created under the divine order has a specific lifespan and it's ultimately destined to death. And it is ultimately destined to death in the given context as decreed in ayat 26, 27 of Surah Rahman in the words. Listen, everything that exists, that is created, is to perish, and there will remain the face of your Lord, owner of majesty and honor. Kullu man alayha fan وَيَبْقَى وَجْهُ رَبِّكَ ذُو الْجَلَالِ وَالْإِكْرَامِ. Even gradual demise of the stars and the sun has been specifically proclaimed in ayat 38 of Surah Yasin in the words, listen, and the sun runs on course towards its stopping point. That is the determination of the exalted in might, the knowing, Allah. Likewise, gradual wrap-up of the sun is revealed in ayat 1 of Surah At-Takwir in the words, when the sun is wrapped up in darkness. Thus, the proposed life cycle of the sun and stars shown on the screen is in conformity with the Quranic information. A very special phase of a star's life named At-Tariq is revealed in ayat 1 to 3 of Surah At-Tariq in the words, listen, وَالسَّمَاءِ وَالتَّارِقِ وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا-التَّارِقِ النَّجْمُ السَّاقِبِ. Translation is, by the sky means heaven, means universe, and the night comer, and what can make you know what is the night comer? It is the piercing star. Now I will explain what is piercing star and what is At-Tariq. The words At-Tariq and Saqib have been discussed in lecture 283 in the context of a star that exerts to generate extraordinary light, piercing through the thick clouds of darkness caused by dark matter to enlighten and energize the atmosphere. If we study these ayat of Surah At-Tariq in conjunction with the ayat just quoted from Surahs Yasin, Rahman and At-Takwir, the information revealed in Surah At-Tariq finds some more dimensions too, many more dimensions, especially with the growing knowledge in astrophysics. If we elaborate the word At-Tariq, it holds multiple meanings such as hammering. What is hammering? And beater, pulsator. What is pulsator? It is, throbbing of the pulse. Striker, knocker, rapper, driller. Thus, At-Tariq as a star means a pulsating star that throbs or beats rhythmically like a pulse. Likewise, Saqib means a star that exerts to generate light that peers through darkness or drills through the obstructive bodies. The word Tariq is derived from its root Tarq, which means striking or hitting or beating with such intensity that causes a sound. Thus, the term At-Tariqi given in the ayat is, when read together with Saqib, it means a star that pierces through the darkness, pulsates or beats at a rhythm, not out of rhythm, but in a very, very rhythmic manner, and it's a sharp star, bright star. If we revisit the life cycle of a star shown on the screen, the star At-Tariq as featured in the Qur'an finds its place having phased 8 to 9 billion years. It means it is 8 to 9 billion years old of its age and on the anticipated life cycle. Have a look on the screen. The star having such age and features has been named as pulsating star by science. Dear friends, let us now find scientific viewpoint about the pulsating star and look at its features noticed in the scientific discoveries that confirm At-Tariq as a pulsating and piercing star. Such discoveries were noticed just in 1960s. It is matter of a few decades when J.B. Burnell at Cambridge University firstly identified regular radio signals akin to beating of pulse coming from a celestial body. It was the first finding in 1960s. Later on, astronomers discovered that the matter of a star having attained the age of 8 to 9 billion years grows denser in its core as it revolves around its own axis. Its magnetic field also grows stronger, especially it gets magnified at its poles. A star revolving so fast, having such a powerful magnetic field, emits rays consisting of very powerful radio waves in a cosmic form at every revolution, giving effect of a rhythmic pulsation. What is rhythmic pulsation? Throbbing like a pulse. Then further, just pulsation was attributed to rapid revolution of neutron stars which were named as pulsars, giving feel of throbbing of a pulse. These stars turned into pulsars through supernova explosions have huge mass, high degree brightness and extraordinary revolution in the universe. Some pulsars revolve 600 times in a second. Thus, the defining features of the star At-Tariq bear a great similarity to the pulsar neutron stars mentioned by science. So, dear friends, neutron stars are formed when the nuclei of supergiant stars collapse, die out, decay. Amazingly, the principle of death has no discrimination among the celestial giants, means stars and galaxies, and tiny atoms. Death is applicable to each and every, created thing. The sun is one among trillions of stars in the universe. It is recently discovered that the sun also has been converting 4 million metric tons of its hydrogen, helium, and lithium stocks into energy per second for the last about 5 billion years. Such a pattern of consumption over further 4 to 5 billion years may lead it to a stage of pulsating star and ultimately end up its stocks of gases in the next 10 to 11 billion years, causing complete demise of the mighty sun. However, it would first expand in size and brightness before turning into a white dwarf, having shrunk earlier expansion, then shrunk to the size of the earth within about 8 billion years. It is the anticipated history. Future. 2 billion years later, it means 8 billion years, then further 2 billion years, the carbon and oxygen in the sun's core, in the center of the sun, will freeze due to extremely low temperature, and then the sun will finally cease to shine, becoming a black dwarf. First white dwarf, then black dwarf. The revelation of the Quran, we just discussed, probably indicates that the star At-Tariq is approaching the white dwarf stage, where a star exhausts the hydrogen stocks of its core and starts depending on its peripheral stocks, that makes it unstable in energy generation. So, dear friends, Tim Bedding, an astronomer at the University of Sydney, noted that the new data collected through NASA's Transiting Exoplanet Survey satellite has enabled astronomers to record the pulsation of stars, throbbing, striking of stars, and the light they are giving off quite precisely. This is the success of science. It has helped scientists to determine what is happening inside the blazing hot, decaying stars. For example, color of the light reveals its surface temperature and the elements in and around it. Brightness correlates with the mass a star has at a point of time. Stars have 3 basic properties. The first is its distance. Known sources of intrinsic brightness enables astronomers in comparing apparent brightness of the stars to calculate their distances among themselves and from the earth. It helps in mapping location of the stars in the galaxy. Another important property, means second property of a star, is age. Brightness tells evolution of the star, whether it is in main sequence or it has passed to the horizontal branch or decaying stage. The pulsars are advanced in age. Only stars older than 10 billion years show the features of pulsar stars, as we mentioned about At-Tariq. If we find such a star in a particular galaxy or globular cluster, then that galaxy must be at least 10 billion years old. Since the universe is about 13.8 billion years old, this implies that the globular clusters and galaxies that contain these stars, decaying stars or pulsars, were formed relatively soon after the Big Bang. The third property of a star relates to its metal contents. How much metal is there? All metals are heavier than hydrogen and helium. The Big Bang produced mostly hydrogen and helium and a negligible fraction of metals. It means all the metal elements on Earth were synthesized in stars. Star of every generation produces metals upon reaching the end of its life and distributes them through the interstellar medium, where the enriched gas is used as raw material to make more stars. As a result, each successive generation of stars has more metals than the previous generation. This is known as chemical enrichment. The Sun, which was born roughly 5 billion years ago, and it contained 98% of hydrogen or helium and other 2%, other than hydrogen, only 2%, that included carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, iron and calcium. The Sun is among relatively metal-rich stars. As a result, each successive generation of stars has more metals than the previous generations. This is known as chemical enrichment. Thus, the metal abundance of a star or galaxy is an important clue that helps to piece together its formation and evolutionary chronology. So, dear friends, knowing such a great significance of the pulsating stars in promoting human knowledge about the wonders of the universe, one can appreciate the wisdom behind the revelation regarding the star At-Tariq as pulsating star. As we noticed earlier, the Qur'an has predicted gradual demise of the sun and stars quite explicitly in Surah Yasin and Surah Rahman. It is the fate of every cosmic body, big or small. The purpose behind the revelation regarding the star At-Tariq may be to educate the human beings about empirical significance of such stars. It may be aimed to encourage the man towards a thought process for exploring the mysteries of nature, so that his consciousness for the grand universe and its great creator could be elevated, and his control over the elements of the universe be supplemented, augmented, as promised by Allah in Ayat 20 of Surah Luqman in the words, listen. Alam taraw anna Allah sakhara lakum ma fis samawati wa ma fil arzi wa asbagha alaykum ni'amahu zahiratan wa batina. Let me translate. Do you not see that Allah has made subject to you, all the human beings, whatever is in the heavens, in the universe, and whatever is in the earth, and amply, adequately bestowed upon you, on the human beings, His favors, both apparent and unapparent. Favors are of two types. One are known to the man, the other are unapparent at a given point of time. So, my dear friends, with this we conclude our discussion under lecture 287. Please subscribe Idea Foundation YouTube channel to watch videos of previous lectures and join us for the noble cause. Thank you friends for participation. Allah Hafiz.